Today is February 25th. Today's quote is entitled, "Fault-finding is good." You're going to like this, right? Finally, something you wanted to hear. Finding faults in ourselves is the cure for the tendency to find faults in others. It is both how we practice humility and a symptom of humility. So yes, finding faults in ourselves is good. And we talked about it yesterday. And a lot of devotees, or people in general, who deal with self-esteem issues, who don't feel so good about themselves, find it difficult to find faults in themselves because it discourages them. And yesterday we said that it's good when you find faults because now you know what you need to work on. Now you know what's getting in the way. So we could celebrate. Sometimes when we're becoming purified in Krishna consciousness, we start to realize, as Prabhupada said, the impurities in the ghee are rising to the top. So we start to realize what's wrong with us. And we become discouraged because we're thinking, well, I thought I was advancing, but now I see all my faults, which is a sign that you're advancing because you're seeing your faults. But it's good that you've seen your faults because now you know what to work on. What this quote is saying, in addition to that, which we said the other day, if we are focused on improving ourselves, then the tendency to find fault in another person is now dovetailed in the proper way. Actually, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said many times in many different ways that if we are focused on seeing the faults in others, we're not even devotees. It has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. It has nothing to do with devotional service. Isn't that interesting? So if we are focused on improving ourselves, that's what we're interested in. That's what we're interested in. That's where we're interested in looking when we're looking for faults. Then it's wonderful because we'll benefit in two ways. We'll improve upon the fault we've found or eliminate it, and we will curb the tendency to find faults in others. The last point we made in the quote, which is important, is that if we're only focused or only interested in finding faults with ourselves, it's a symptom of humility. And it's the way we practice humility, and it's also a symptom. So if I'm feeling more natural in looking at my own faults, I'm feeling more comfortable, I'm feeling okay with it, I don't become discouraged, depressed, beat myself up, but I see it as something genuinely spiritual, a means of improving. It's natural. We all have faults. It's just a process. That's wonderful. That means we're advancing in Krishna consciousness. That means we're becoming a little more humble. So we can celebrate in that sense. Oh, I'm looking at my faults. I'm seeing my faults. I'm recognizing my faults. I'm acknowledging my faults. I'm working on my faults. Wonderful. Celebrate. You're actually advancing in Krishna consciousness. If you're not seeing your faults, that's not time to celebrate. Think, no, I'm doing really well in Krishna consciousness. I don't have any faults. No, it's actually a problem that you're not seeing the faults. When disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who had been devotees for 20 years, told him that they have no taste for the holy name, they're not making advancement, he said, very good. And of course, they were puzzled. Said, Guru Maharaj, why is that good? And he said, it's good because you realize that you have so much further to go. You're not thinking that you're advanced. You're not becoming proud, but you're thinking you're not very Krishna conscious. So I was very happy to hear that you realize you're not Krishna conscious. Whereas if you would have told me, we've been chanting for 20 years, we're doing really well, we're making advancement, we're feeling very Krishna conscious, I would be somewhat worried that you're becoming proud.